Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one. It's a card. I don't make a huge number of card videos, but a lot of people say, I wish you'd make cards. Well, I do have cards 4 days a week on my blog, so they come out Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday, and then I have my 3D projects on video on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So 7 days a week you'll see something on my blog. But I thought it would be quite nice to do a card with you today. So I've got my Daisy Lane stamp set, which I absolutely adore, and I've got some Merry Merlot cardstock and ink that I'm going to be working with. So this one is Cherry Cobbler, very much beloved colour, my favourite, love it. So I'm going to put it all together for you. So you take a piece of cardstock, whether it's 8.5 by 11 or International A4, you cut it in half and you score it in half. Now it doesn't matter whether you cut it vertically, so that's your piece of cardstock, or whether you would cut it the other way. When you fold it in half, you'll still end up with a card blank this size. It might not be a 10 fold, it might be a traditionally opening one, but there we go. So that's that. And then my layers, these ones are, that I can't pick up, these are, let's have a look. So this one is 2.5 centimetres shorter and narrower, and this one's 3 centimetres shorter and narrower than this part here. So if you work in Imperial, you would go for an inch shorter and narrower, and then you'd go for 1.25 inches shorter and narrow, and that's what's going to give you this nice border around here, but also the same border around this part. Okay, so let's get some stamping going on. So Daisy Lane has got both the large, and this one's covered in glitter, the large and the medium sized daisies. I love it because it's got both, and I'm going to get them mounted up. My clear blocks, I cleaned them for Monday's video. Not so much the clean anymore. I work with them quite a lot. So I'm going to do tone on tone stamping, and just around the edge I'm one of these stampers, I'm not afraid of the white space. I'm quite happy leaving lots of white gap, but it's quite nice to do stamping around the edge of a piece of cardstock as well. Okay, so I've got some more Whisper White here, and I'm going to take 2 more with this large, and then 2 of the medium, just like this. And then I'm going to get my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to start making these colours bleed. So let me focus. I've lost the zoom button. I've lost the zoom. We'll go this way. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit closer, and Wink of Stella will make the colour bleed, and you get a wash of colour, which you can hopefully see the difference there. And Merry Merlot and all of our deep reds and purples and dark colours do this very, very well. They show it off very nicely. My husband's just walked in. He has just had to go. Anyway, he had just been out to get some fruit because we were very short, and he's just come in. That was a quick pause because he continued to bellow to Jacob as to, why's your bike outside? And oh, here comes a cat. It's all go here. Is everybody else facing challenges with their working life? Chris isn't working, he's furloughed. The children are doing schoolwork, but obviously because they're not in a classroom of 30, they're getting through their schoolwork quite quickly. So Chris is enjoying some time off. He's really having a good time tinkering in his garage. Children having a great time playing games, playing with each other. And I'm juggling work. At least I don't have to do the laundry. Haven't done that in ages. Chris is doing it all. There we go. Right. So they're all done. So let me just zoom back out again. And I've got all my punches. So I've got the medium daisy and I've got the large daisy. Or actually, I think this is simply called Daisy. And I'm going to punch both of those out. Oh, it's just got itself tangled. There we go. And then both of the small ones. And I'm just going to pop those off to one side. So with my piece of white cardstock that I had before, I'm going to stamp on the background. So I've got this sort of, I want to say fern. I don't know if it is a fern. I'm horticulturally challenged. So I don't know. So, but I'm grabbing it anyway, and I'm going to grab my Memento. Now, I'd normally recommend StazOn, but my StazOn is a little bit on the dry side at the moment. And yeah, I wanted a nice rich black, so Memento it is. There we go. So they're there, and let me just set that aside because that has got to dry. And oh, I don't know why I've just picked that up. I want my bone folder. And what I'm going to do, and if you get hold of each petal and just gently curl the edges, it will curl round. What you don't want to do is grab the middle and curl, because you're likely to pull a petal off. Ask me how I know. Because I've done that on more than a few occasions. And just keep curling around. It's quite a nice therapeutic little task doing this. Quite enjoy it. These ones you do have to be very careful on. These are the ones that you're more likely to pull the petal off. And there's nothing more frustrating than having stamped, coloured, punched, and then you bone fold a curl off a petal. Oh, I nearly had one then. Okay, so let's get these mini glue dots on here and stack these up. Obviously, by the fact that these daisies have got big gaps around them, it shows that you can layer them up. Let me move to a clear gap. And you offset. And then you do the same with the small ones. And you just offset it a little. And I'm going to put a whole bunch of these in the middle of this. And again, pop it into the centre, push down firmly, and I did get out my faceted gems. So I want one of these in the centre there. And pressing all firmly together really does help. Okay, let's move those out of the way. I'm hoping this is dry now. So just layer that up. And then back over onto our card base. Just checking I've got it the right way up. Onto there. And then I'm going to put a wodge of snail there, which hopefully you can see if I tip it around in the light. It's pale blue, you might or might not be able to see it. And then I'm going to get some linen thread, which I love. Pull off quite a length, and I'm going to wrap it round 4 fingers, then 3, and snip it off. And I'm going to stick that onto the glue part, and then just sort of bend it backwards and forwards, so I get a bit of a messy look. I'm okay with that. And then under here I'm going to pile up some dimensionals, and I'm going for 3 because it's going to be a bit wibbly wobbly with the linen thread. And press firmly, and And that is my card made, and the linen thread is there. So I've got a cherry cobbler and I've got a Merry Merlot, and I love them. I think they're really lovely. You can see my StazOn's very pale there. It looks like basic grey, not black. But I think that's a nice, gentle, simple card. You can do it in any colourway. I don't feel it needs a sentiment. I think it's one of those that can go out just because. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to speak to you very soon. Bye.